Hi, I'm Jay. I'm an artist and a video gamer. I'm here to talk about games and your health. The general public is of the opinion that video games were created by the devil to rot our brains. People believe that playing video games is harmful to us in one way or the other. Contrary to that opinion though, I'm here to talk about how video games are actually good for your health. Keep watching to find out how. It's very easy for people to point their fingers at video games whenever there's a problem. Oh my god, they're so violent. It's all those video games you play. You're so reclusive. It's all those video games you play. All your health problems are caused by video games. My mom at one point even told me that my stomach ache was caused by the amount of time I spent looking at my phone playing video games. You can imagine that kind of thing. However, these have no scientific backing whatsoever. But what I'm about to tell you though actually do have scientific backing. So let's go. With how engaging video games are, they stimulate the brain enough for it to improve the parts responsible for cognition, critical thinking, problem solving, attention payment, and spatial formation. There was a study to test this. They divided a group of people into three. They gave some of them 3D Super Mario to play. Some other people played Angry Birds and some other guys played nothing at all. Memory tests taken after playing these video games. They played the games for a space of about 2 weeks. So after playing the video games, there were some memory tests taken, and those who played 3D Super Mario had the best results in the memory test, whereby those who played Angry Birds, which are 2D games, not saying they are not good, but for this test, people who played Angry Birds and those who played no games at all showed like zero improvement. And a game like Angry Birds is a physics-based game, but for memory improvement, 3D games were shown to have the best result. These doctors discovered that playing video games physically improve the brain matter in parts responsible for memory formation, spatial orientation, and strategic planning. It helps to imagine remembering all the button configurations for complex video games. So if you see a player that is good at video games like Mortal Kombat, man, you have to respect that guy. I have to know that this person has to be a really smart person, because it's not easy to know the button configurations for those kind of things. For a single move, you might have to remember the exact way to press like 8 or 9 buttons at the same time. These people hold it all in their head for a long amount of time. They never forget it, and they apply this to their real life things also. Physical activity is very difficult for many people. Many people just like to lay in their beds all day if they could and do nothing apart from just get up, go to the fridge, get something to eat and stuff. But if you are going to be playing video games and you feel you want to improve your physical activity also, get a Nintendo Wii, play Just Dance. These games are amazing at helping you move about and stay on your feet, lose weight. Just Dance, you dance all day, and imagine that kind of thing. Dancing is one of the best forms of exercise. You shed a lot of weight, you lose a lot of calories. Playing Nintendo Wii helps you to move about, it improves your skill, works on your posture, and as I've mentioned before, it also helps with weight loss. It's one of the most important. Stay healthy, keep yourself fit. Okay, this can also encourage you to play a lot of sports in real life. If you play lawn tennis on your Wii, or you play golf or something, you might also think, if I can do this here, why don't I do it in real life? Why don't I go to the gym or somewhere and actually play this sport? It's very, very good. It encourages you to play a lot of sports. My friends and I, we play Pro Evolution Soccer a lot. Like, we do it every day. It's what we live and breathe. We do it when we're about to sleep. We do it immediately we wake up. We play Pro Evolution Soccer. I'm a PES fan. Play PES. FIFA guys, don't come close to me. I don't know how to play FIFA. But if it's PES, come on. Bring it, bro. I got you all day. This makes us to always want to go out and play soccer in real life. Like sometimes we might play video games and someone might be like, oh, you can only do this because it's in the game. I'll be like, what? You mean you don't know what you mean? You don't know what I can do in real life. I'll be like, let's go, let's do this. We go out and play sports and keep ourselves fit. Same with NBA. We play a lot of NBA. We go to the court, we play basketball. I've never learned how to skateboard before, but ever since I played Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, I totally want to get a skateboard and learn how to skate. Now, for this point, I'm going to be talking about something really serious, and it's actual chronic pain. Video games help to reduce the sensations caused by pain from illnesses, medical procedures, or accidents. I'm not saying they work like actual medicine or pain relief medication or something, but what I'm saying is they distract the brain from what's going on their body and just transports the user somewhere else and just take the person somewhere. VR games release endorphins to the brain, and these are responsible for increasing happiness and comfortability in the patient. So playing video games actually help to reduce pain in a way. Then I had a friend of mine who had an accident at home and he was just shouting and crying. We couldn't get the doctors there on time and stuff, and we were thinking, what could we do? We didn't have any first aid experience or anything, so we just thought if only we had a VR headset or something. It's not as if it was going to heal the guy or make him numb to the pain, but it would have reduced the effect to a very large extent. The doctor also confirmed this, so yeah. Also, video games have been used to help treat children that are suffering from chronic diseases like dyslexia, depression, autism, and Parkinson's disease. Also, children who have been known to undergo such kind of treatment were shown to improve in things like fighting spirit, empowerment, and resilience. Patients who played video games improved in areas like spatial attention, focus, and peripheral vision. Also, patients with stroke were shown to improve in areas like arm strength and steadier hands. They had steadier hands and they increased their movement a lot, not just for the sake of moving, but goal-oriented movement. They were able to achieve things with their movement. Also, surgeons who play video games made 32% less errors than those who don't. I'm saying, yeah, that's actually a good thing. There was this time when I was with my mom in the hospital and it was night. It was around like 2 or 3 a.m., something like that. And there was something wrong with her drip, so I needed a nurse to come and check it out. But I looked around the hospital and I couldn't find any of the nurses. It turned out that most of them had gone to sleep, like they fell asleep somewhere because they were really exhausted. There was a lot of work for them to do that night. But there was one nurse who was awake and she was the one that was able to help me out. She was only awake because she was playing a video game on her phone, and when I called her, she wasn't even groggy or disorientated like someone who had just waken up from bed. She did her work perfectly well. I was really impressed, and I would love to know the game she was playing. I never really found out, but what game would keep me awake like that at work when all my guys had gone to sleep? She was a gamer. I think she was born to be a gamer, not a nurse. Or a gaming nurse, or a nurse gamer. Video gamers are popularly seen as antisocial hermits that prefer to just stay at home, if they could build themselves a cave and just live in it and just play video games, they will do it. But contrary to that, video gamers make a lot of friends really easily, because bring a gamer, bring another gamer, there's a mutual interest, they have a lot to talk about, they become friends like instantly. Talk about online games also. Video gamers, we meet ourselves online and we become friends. You'll see someone going to check if another person is online so they can play together. Like, they have turned to best friends even more than those they meet in real life. Also, in real life, video games have helped me personally to meet a lot of people, know a lot of friends. Most of my friends I know now are people that we came together just because of our shared love for video game. I'm just walking past and I see somebody playing a game. I'm like, yo, what are you doing? The person is like, I'm playing this. I say, I also play this. Then we'll start playing together and we'll start talking and we become friends for years till now. There's a friend of mine that he even met a girl for the first time in his life. He has never walked up to a girl and say, hi, I'd like to get your number, I'd like to go out with you. But due to the influence of playing video games, we were just in school one day, we were playing video games and the girl was around and he was confident that day, he was winning, he was in his moment, he was in his element, and he saw the girl and he was like, yo man, I have to talk to this girl. And the girl was actually very, very interested in video games also. So when he walked up to her, she was the one that was first to talk and she was like, yo, are you guys playing video games? And I was like, yeah. And they started talking together and they hit it off and the girl started coming around and we made a new friend because she was interested in video games. She wasn't as good, but we were able to train her and show her the ropes and everything, and it was actually really, really great. Take kids, for example. Kids do not see race or color or social status or anything. They just want someone to play with. If they're at a playground and they see a potential playmate, they're happy with it. They do not discriminate whatsoever. It's the same thing with gamers. Just put us in an environment to play and we play with anyone and everybody. I've played PUBG with many people who can speak English. If you don't know PUBG stands for Player Unknown Battlegrounds. It's a very, very immersive and engaging online video game. It's available on PS4, PC and mobile. I play it on my phone and I meet a lot of people playing it on my phone also. We team up with people worldwide and we play. We become friends. We've made a lot of friends from playing that game. In fact, talking about making friends from playing that game, there's a friend of mine who met a girl while playing the game, and we went as a team, me and him, and we met two random girls from, I think, Iran or somewhere, and him and one of the girls really hit it off while playing the game and followed themselves out of the game to Instagram, and I think they're dating now, like online long distance dating. I don't know how they make it work, but it works perfectly for them, and I'm like, I'm happy for them. Don't you think PUBG should start a dating service? I mean, it should work. Think about it. I said this first. I got that idea, I'm saying. But okay, now apart from that, it also helped one of my friends last year when his girlfriend broke up with him. His girlfriend broke up with him on Valentine's Day. It was really heartbreaking for him and everything. I mean, on Valentine's Day, he got dumped by his girlfriend on Valentine's Day. He was devastated. Anytime I think about it, I even get devastated, even up till now. I mean, he had all these plans for the present, for the future. He had bought presents for her, bought stuff and everything, and he went to her house to visit her, and when he went there, she just kicked him out for nothing that he did. He was really broken, and we were there for him. We and his games were really there for him because he had this large directory of games that he had to complete, so that kept him going, that kept him sane, that kept his mind focused, that does a bigger picture to this. And she really didn't matter at that point in his life. It wasn't something that he had to kill himself over. So we're there, we encourage him, we play video games. There were a lot of times that even for hours, a whole day, he wouldn't even remember that he was supposed to be heartbroken, and I was actually really happy. He moved on really fast. This reminds me also of a friend of mine who someone asked one day that, are you going to keep on playing video games all your life? Is this what you want to do with your life? Aren't you going to think of how you are going to make something of yourself? And I was like, what? I'm making something out of myself? What do you mean? There's this popular notion that if you are playing video games, you are useless. Like, you're not going to do anything important with your life. You're just going to sit on the couch and get fat and play games all your life. But there are people making money from playing video games in different platforms, on Twitch, on YouTube. Think about the people that have their careers in video game industry, the developers, the designers. There are people who are paid to. They'll make a new video game and they pay someone to just test it. to just play it and see if this game is good and give them a review. And what's that guy even saying? Am I going to do something important with my life? Yes, I'm going to do something important in my life. I'm going to play video games with my life. I'm going to raise a family with my life. I'm going to build a mansion with my life. I'm going to buy Lamborghinis with my life. I'm going to sponsor people's education with my life. I'm going to sponsor people's gaming careers with my life. Yes, that's what I'm going to do. It's going to raise my social status. He's going to regret saying this one day, because one day I'm going to come back at him and say, I did this with my life. Talking about social benefits also, video games help to train people to become good leaders. It improves your leadership skills and teamwork also. Video games, it's essential to work as a team. Depending on the game you are playing. Some games can just be a single person racing, but there are also other games like Call of Duty and PUBG Mobile that I've mentioned. When I'm playing PUBG with my friends, we have the way we split ourselves into roles. We say, okay, you, this guy, you are a designated sniper, you berserk, you are a health guy, you hold all the first aid kits and everything, you hold a gun, you do this, you do that. We split ourselves into roles. Everybody doing his or her part is essential to us winning that game. No matter how you feel that, oh, I feel I should be doing this other thing, if you stick to your role and work as a team, we actually always win. Like a lot, we work perfectly. So imagine taking this kind of behavior also into your real life situation. A person who is a good leader in a video game is also very, very likely to be a good leader in real life. He has the way he's going to plan strategically, to manage resources and do things accordingly. A person who works as a team while in a video game environment is also going to be able to work as a team in a workplace or in class or in school or anything, knowing that if he performs his role well and other people do their part, they are going to have a group victory. When we were in school and we played a lot of video games, we played games day in, day out. Our free time was basically just for gaming. That's what we did. We read and we played video games. We rationed it. We read for an hour, played video games for an hour. Read for hours on end, played video games for hours. We read for 10 minutes. We played video games for 10 minutes. We had a way of balancing it out. And contrary to the belief that people had that when we played video games we were going to fail or won't be able to concentrate on schoolwork, we were actually doing really good. I actually even remember a time when I had an exam, but I would play video games like 10 minutes to the exam or an hour to the exam. Maybe the exam was an hour away. I'll play video games. There was a day when my friends and I even forgot about the exam. Not like we forgot though, but we were carried away with the game we were playing and we were late for the exam. However, when we got there, due to the fact that we had already prepared for it and we had refreshed our brain with an hour of video games, when we went there, we were late, but we were still the first to finish. And I think that was one of my best, that was like my second best exam in the whole time I was in school. It was really, really awesome. The lecturers were like, yo, how did you guys do it? I thought you guys were late. We're like, it's just us, man. That's what we do. That's how we do these things, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so it was really, really cool. Video games have a way of regulating a player's emotion in his real life. A person who is feeling really, really down can play video games, and while he's playing it, he immerses himself in a complex environment with intricate designs and a lot of stuff, and puts himself in a situation where he needs to get out of, he needs to think, he needs to do some other kind of things, and now his goal is to achieve something. And when he achieves that thing, when he passes a stage or beats a boss or wins a match or anything, he's overcome with that feeling of satisfaction and the happiness that comes with it, and it helps to battle things like sadness or negative emotion. It also sometimes, if he loses It also regulates his happiness into negative emotion, but it helps him to be able to try again. After you lose, you try again. You go, the boss beats you, you come, you try another different approach, and you try to beat him. If he beats you, you come again, you try another different approach. Applying this to a real life situation really helps a lot of people. Instead of you trying to achieve something with your life and you try it, it fails, you dump it. A gamer will never do that. He tries another method, it doesn't work out. He looks at it, thinks critically, brings up a different approach and keeps on trying it till he hits it, till he nails it. Think about a really simple game that many of us have played or have seen someone playing, which is Subway Surfers. It's an Android game where you run, someone chases you, and you try to get to a very, very long distance. It's endless. He won't stop chasing you. So what people usually do is after you play it and you get to a certain point before they get you, you'll be like, let's see if I can beat this score. Let's see if I can be a better person. Let's see if I can do a better thing in my life. I'm just trying to relate it now with a real life situation, putting them side by side, that kind of thing. There's also this game I played one time, Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice. It was this really awesome game with Norse mythology and everything. And what I want to talk about is there was a time when I was stuck on a particular stage for like 3 hours because I couldn't solve a puzzle. There was something I was supposed to look for like 3 hours. On a normal day, if it was something else or if it was someone else, the person would give up and be like, you know what, I think I'm done here. Why am I here? Why am I here for 3 hours? Nothing is going on. There's nobody to fight. There's nothing to do. I'm just here to solve a puzzle. There's no hint. There's nothing. But I was there and I was looking for it and searching for it and searching for it. And I was like, I have to do this. If I don't, what can I say about myself? What kind of person am I if I can just a game, I'm going to give up on it. This game is winning me. This game is conquering me. You know what I mean? But a friend of mine, he was playing Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, and he was stuck on a particular stage where he was supposed to fight Lady Butterfly. He fought her every single day for 2 months before he finally killed her. Was it 2 months or 3 months? I think it was 2 months. But I also tried it. I tried fighting her. I was fighting her like every morning. I'll fight and I'll fight and I'll fight and she'll beat me, and I'll try it again and she'll beat me. He's a better gamer than me, but he couldn't even pass it, and it took 2 months. And when he finally did, you need to see us. We celebrated, we went out to eat, and we're like, yes, we finally beat the Lady Butterfly. I think if this kind of attitude can be applied to our real life situation, we'll find ourselves achieving a lot more goals, a lot of other things. We'll have a lot of fighting spirit and good emotional balance living our day-to-day lives. Addictions are very, very detrimental to health. No matter what anybody says, no matter what anyone tells you, it's bad to be addicted to anything in life. It's bad to be addicted to even sweets, not to talk about marijuana or alcohol or tobacco or caffeine or anything. But one of the ways I would recommend to help to battle addiction, if you want to stop, is playing video games. I mean, you know, it's very, very hard for you to tell your mind that, okay, I do not want to smoke again. I want to stop smoking. What better way than for you to play video games and take your mind off of it? I once had a friend who used to smoke. He would tell us that, man, I can't go for more than an hour without smoking. I can't go for 2 hours without smoking. And we're like, yo, we play video games a lot. Come and join us. And it was when we were playing video games, they're like, don't you see, I've gone for like 3 hours, 4 hours. You didn't smoke or anything, because his mind wasn't there. No matter, since he has told himself that he wants to stop and he's doing something else, his mind isn't there. Many people, you could get addicted to playing video games also, but isn't it a better way? I think it's safer, it's a more safe addiction, it's better. You're not doing any bodily harm, you're not harming your lungs or anything. And addictions can spoil, it can ruin a lot of relationships. It can ruin your relationship with parents, spouses, and romantic partners. It has made many people break up because of alcohol misuse or marijuana or even pornography. But wouldn't you like to just have your girlfriend over one time, and instead of you guys quarreling about cigarettes or something, you guys just play Rocket League or something? You see for an hour, you and your girlfriend, someone you love, playing such an awesome game. You won't even remember that there was something you were supposed to be doing, if you know what I mean. If you are alone, play an adventure game, something that will take your mind off, something that will give you a new role, a role playing, like Spider-Man. When you play Spider-Man, I don't think you even remember that you're supposed to do anything. I think the only thing you remember is that, man, at some point you have to get up and pee or get up and eat. But you wouldn't want to leave that seat to say you're going to do something else or watch porn or something. And the Rocket League is this really awesome game. It's a mixture of people that will fall in love with it I love playing Pro Evolution Soccer, and my brother likes playing Need for Speed. It's two different things. It's football, and he loves car races. But Rocket League found a way to fuse the two, and you are playing soccer using cars. There's a really large ball. You guys are at an arena. There are goals, and you are like 10 guys driving cars around the arena, hitting the ball and trying to score goals against each other. It's multiplayer. You can play with as many people as you can, both online and offline. Creativity is the use of imagination to create something or make something happen. And with gamers, it is everything. Gamers are posed with simple to insane, complex requirements that need them to be able to react differently, think critically, and be able to solve those problems. They are posed with things that will make them to be able to optimize resources, improvise, and manage themselves in such a way that after playing those games, if they are posed with similar situations in real life, they'll be able to solve those problems, both at the workplace, at home, or in their general lives, anywhere that they find themselves. For example, if you are a strategy gamer that plays strategy games like Age of Empires, for example. Age of Empires is this medieval game that is set in ancient dynasties like Asia or Europe, where you command an army, you take them out to fight while you are taking care of workers, your village. People come out, you allocate resources, you buy stuff, you upgrade weapons, you feed soldiers, you do everything. It's this really awesome game. My cousin is one of the people that I know that knows how to manage resources a lot in his life. If I want to learn how to manage resources, apart from playing video games, so I was going to learn from a real life person like a mentor, I think it's going to be him. And where he learned it from, believe me or not, is from playing Football Manager. He has played Football Manager for about 20 years. Like ever since I know him, he plays Football Manager always. He's the manager of a club. He knows how to buy players, sell players, who to train, who to pay, how to allocate salaries and everything. In real life right now, he's a really awesome businessman. I want to be like him, so I'm also playing Football Manager. I'm not going to go and meet him and say, yo, teach me, man, that kind of thing. I already know what to do since, yeah. Some things are not even that much complicated, but are still strategy. Like if you play FIFA, you'll be familiar with the Alex Hunter story. And if you know the Alex Hunter story, you'll know that playing as Alex Hunter, you have to be able to be making decisions for the club that you go to, answer questions correctly from the press interviews and other things. For everything that you do, it has the consequences in the long run. There are also many games like that every single action you take has consequences that you have to face in the long run. So knowing this, you'll also be able to prepare yourself for the consequences that these things are going to have and be able to take responsibility for them, so that when these things pose themselves, you'll be able to react accordingly. Now, for most games that everyone plays, there's always something new to be learned. Apart from all the fast pace and the action or something, there are information that you gain. Even something as little as Candy Crush teaches us to be able to achieve the most amount of effect on something with the least amount of actions, if you know what I mean. So, but playing other big games like Battlefield, Far Cry, Sekiro, and Horizon Zero Dawn, Call of Duty, they have rich historical information that teaches us a lot of things that we would have only gotten if we read tons of books, but easily we can get them from just playing the video games. There are many other things, like I learned a lot about footballers and sports players, not because I watch a lot of sports, but because I play a lot of sports games like NBA and Pro Evolution Soccer. So I learned a lot of info about them from playing video games like that, and football terminologies and stuff. I don't even play a lot of soccer. So getting to playing even big games have a lot of historical, cultural, and even futuristic information that come with them. Something like Battlefield, I've never read about the World War. I've heard about it, but Battlefield gave me this really immersive World War experience. Not the war part, but the information I got. I learned a lot of things. I knew about a lot of people, the things that they did, and a lot of things. Even Assassin's Creed took us back in the day. I learned a lot about Crusaders, their actions, the church, and how they fought against assassins and all those things in order to create balance in the world. Sekiro took us to ancient Japan. God of War takes us to ancient Greece. We learn a lot about Greek mythology, and even the new God of War takes us to ancient Norse mythology also. And Far Cry Primal even takes us way back, even beyond all of this, down to like 10,000 BC. We see how man evolved. Talking about man's evolution, if you play Ancestors actually talks about the evolution of man, right from when man was still an ape kind of creature down to man. I also learned a lot about sports, a lot about soccer and basketball from playing the video games, not because I watch them a lot in real life, but I play them a lot. I learned a lot about players, their abilities, what they can do, where they can play, and everything, how to strategize football and everything. I can't coach a team, but when it comes to playing video games, I know what each player can do. And even in real life, I discovered that when I try to say, if this happens, maybe it can create this kind of effect. If a coach does something similar to what I had in mind, there's usually a lot of victory that happens that kind of time. So I'm confident about the fact that video games have taught me a lot about sports, not just sports now, about cars also. We play a lot of Need for Speed. Like I said, my younger brother, he's more of a racing guy. He likes playing races a lot, so we play a lot of Need for Speed, Blur, and we come across many cars with different abilities, and we learn this what this car can do. Oh, this car is so cool. Not because we follow cars a lot in real life or have access to these vehicles, but them being brought to us in video games, we learn a lot about them. The only problem now is no matter how much I learn, I can't seem to beat my brother in races. We could play for like 4 to 5 hours, Blur, and he will win every single time. Maybe I'll win like 1 out of like 60 races, if you know what I mean. It's because he has learned a lot about these cars. He knows what each car can do for different tracks, even without going to research on them. He knows them. And even in real life, sometimes he could be passing, he'll look at a car and he'll be like, yo, look at that car, this is the top speed of the car and everything. And I'll be like, yo, who cares? Now, there are tons of other things that video games help us with. Video games improve our eyes. It helps our hand-eye coordination. It improves our peripheral vision. Tons of other ones. If you want me to make another video talking about other unknown benefits of video games, let me know in the comments. Also, if you have other things that video games have helped you with, that you have gained or benefited from playing video games, or you feel can be benefited from playing video games, please leave a comment also and let me know. Subscribe to this and share it to your friends. This video is something I'm making as a follow-up to a post I wrote about the same subject, and I wrote that because, like I said, my mom doesn't believe that video games can be beneficial to anyone. She believes that all our problems are caused because we play too many video games instead of doing something meaningful with our lives, not just our relatives. And I made the post because I also believe if my relatives can think this, is probably something that is also the same all over the world. You know, you are probably facing it, or you know someone who feels the same way. So I made this post just so I can be able to show them and show other people that contrary to what they believe, this is actually what's correct, and what they believe is actually wrong. Our elders wouldn't want to believe they are wrong, but it's science, if you know what I mean. Science proves everything. They can't argue with science. So I was bringing it to them just to show them that this is actually a good thing that we are doing. Now, this video is not a license for any of you to go and play video games for 10 hours straight or all day and night without eating, sleeping, or even resting. Before someone will say, I said this, Jay told me to play games all day, or someone will start coming for me, please don't come for me. Or if you're coming, come with your controller because I'll be waiting. I made a list of the video games that I mentioned in this video, and they're in a free PDF file whose download link I'm going to put in the description. So if you are interested, you can just click the link and you get the free PDF file, so you can check out the games that are there, anyone that you haven't played. Also, if you feel that there is a game I should have mentioned that you have played but I didn't, just leave a comment and let me know. Aha! If you also want to see my personal channel, the link is also in the description.